Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Chameleon Girl Gina, and tonight I want to show you guys how to make a Denver omelet. Have you ever had an omelet and it's like brown on the outside, or even scrambled eggs and they're brown? Well, guess what? You're not going to have those type of eggs or omelets anymore, because I'm going to show you guys the technique that I use to avoid it, and that I was taught by my son, who is an executive chef. So what we will need for this Denver omelet is, of course, eggs. Tonight I decided to treat my family, and so we're doing the blue and blue and brown eggs, excuse me, with the amber yolk, the richest eggs. They are pricey, so you don't have to use these type of eggs. It's just if you want to treat yourself or your family. But anyway, they're about $7.99, $8 for a dozen of eggs. So yeah, you don't want to be burning them. And the next thing, of course, will be some shredded cheese. I like to use some finely shredded, as well as just a regular shredded cheese. You can also shred your own cheese, but what I like to do is add a little bit of extra sharp, or sharp to mild, okay? And then the next thing that goes in a Denver omelet, of course, is your ham. This is just some little ham chunks that I purchased, and they're already packaged just that way. And because we want to make sure everything cooks evenly, what we decided to do was shred the onion and the bell pepper. We want them very fine, so that's why we did the shredding method instead of cutting them up. Just take them, put them on your cheese grater, like boom, 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 you're good. And then we're going to also use a little kosher salt to taste. This is optional because of your cheese. And then some black pepper. And black pepper, I think, is important to me, but you know. What I like to do to go ahead and get me started is go ahead and put a cap full of oil in a very good Teflon type of skillet. So this is just a little baby Teflon skillet, and then I'm going to do a little pat of butter with the vegetable oil. Let's go ahead and get started. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so the first thing that I like to do is crack my eggs into something clear. It doesn't have to be a measuring cup, but something clear to where you can make sure that you're seeing that there is no shell in there. And let your eggs come to room temperature. Whenever you're even scrambling, it's always good, but especially when you're doing an omelet. So anyway, you just want to crack them one at a time. Yep, and then you just want to, just make sure that you are seeing no shell in your eggs. And as you guys can see, when it comes to these eggs, they're like almost orange instead of yellow. Now that I have cracked them into my cup, plate, whatever I'm doing, I, at that time, want to put a dab of butter. This is mainly for flavor, so you want to do a pat of butter, and you want to turn it on a good temperature, probably about 6. We're going to go. Now, whenever you're serving an egg dish, make sure that you heat your plate up, because eggs get cold real fast, okay? So anyway, I'm just going to put a little bit of oil, just a very little bit of oil, in the lid, So that's about a teaspoon to go with that butter. Because it will also prevent the butter from burning. You don't want no burnt butter. Everything should be pretty good to go. Now, in this recipe, you want to use, at minimum, I think about 3 eggs. So anyway, you're going to start whisking with a fork, not a whisker. Soon as you even feel that it's getting hot, you want to turn it down to about 3. It takes about a minute. You do not want this to get brown, however. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn it down to about 3. And what we're now going to do is add in some ham. So however much you like, then you put that in there. Okay, so I'm adding not a whole bunch, but you know, enough for it to be hearty, but not just chunky, okay? And then the next thing that you want to add to it is some of your, where's my spatula that I had? I thought I had it. Anyway, you want to add in there a little bit of your onion. So we're going to say about a tablespoon of onion, what you're going to add in there. And that's depending on who's eating it. In the meantime, every now and then, I'm looking at this because I don't want it brown. And then we're going to add about a tablespoon of the bell pepper. And you want to try to avoid adding that juice because you don't want that juice to be in there. So now you're going to move that to where it's just a little bit on there because you don't want that to scorch that butter in there. Okay? And then you want to make sure your plate is nice and warm. So I usually warm the plate for about 2 minutes, and that's already been done. See, so your mixture should not look like anything is just in one area. It should be to where you can see it top and bottom. And as we go ahead and we put it into the pan, which I'm going to zoom in for you guys. Where as we put it in the pan, we still want to be whisking with a fork, not a whisker. Slowly putting it in there so that the ingredients in there get distributed evenly. Okay. So now here's the fun part. You're going to make sure that your spatula is very close. So for this, and I don't want nobody saying nothing to me about my pan, because you know what? Sometimes people say, why would you use a metal pan, I mean a metal utensil on a stick proof? Well, because it's going to make life easier. So now what you want to do, I hope you guys can really see this part. Let me get you in there. Okay, so you want to take and put this, but you want to be gentle. You don't want to just scratch it up. And you want to move it. Okay, can you guys see that? And then I'm going to move it. And I'm letting this fall to the outside. The raw part is falling to the outside. Then I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to let that fall inside. What is happening is that you're cooking this through and through without burning it. So anyway, then at this point, you're going to take it every about 20 seconds and you're going to move it. See how that's even breaking apart right there? But the egg is going to fill it in. Okay? Then you're going to go over here. You're going to move it. You're going to actually just kind of break it. And then it's cooking up very, very good without getting brown. So right now we're going to turn that up. Actually, we're going to leave that. We're going to leave that about 2.5. And see how that is over there? Hope you guys can see that. And let that fall over there. Because see, a lot of people, everybody does not know how to haul off and flip the skillet in the air like America's Next Chef and all that. You know what I mean? And for those of us who don't know how to do that, then we're just going to do this method. See, we're opening that where there's like a hole in there, and then that part that is not done is just going to fall in there so it could cook. See? Moving it again. Just continuing to let that fall in there. See? I really hope you guys can see that. Let me see if I can scoot this camera up. I want that really in there where you could see dead on. Without my camera falling off on there. Okay. There. Gotta watch it though. Pay attention. See, there we go. We're moving it. Now we're going to turn that down to about 2.5. Moving that. Now at this time, this is where your salt and pepper comes in. So I'm going to sprinkle a little pepper in here because we want it to not be all, you know, just the gritty feel or whatever. We're going to take our hand and we're going to put a little bit of kosher salt in there. I'm going to move quickly. See, just a little bit. 1/4 teaspoon. And just kind of spread that on there. And now, we're going to move a little bit more because we want to make sure that that egg is done. Don't nobody want no raw egg. All right, we just dumped. Just moving that top of that. Move that because there's a little slit in there, so we know that that's going to cook up evenly and good. Move that over. Yeah. Beautiful. And I would go 1/2 pat on the, look at her just moving right. Just moving around. But I would probably do 1/2 pat on there. And we're going to take it and we're going to be checking. Now we're going to go around them edges to make sure that our egg is good and yellow, not brown. No more brown eggy. And at this point, what you could do is turn it off, completely off, cover, while you butter your toast. All in there. Hi. So we're just going to put some butter on our toast. Quickly, let that melt in there. Now, should have had a paper towel closer, but anyway. Because you don't want crumbs on the plate that you're serving, just make sure that you cut it on top of a whole different plate or on a paper towel. Cut your bread. Okay. Move that up out the way. Remove the plate. We're almost done. We're almost done. The stove top is on off. We're going to turn it back on. We're just going to 2. Because at this time, our cheese comes in. And so we want to get that cheese sprinkled on there. And we want it real cheesy, right? Just kind of give it a little spread. Now we're going to turn it. We're done with it. I'm just going to cover it for a few seconds. And once you take it off, you're going to wipe the bottom of your plate because you don't want that condensation and then you're serving that. Okay? So now what we're going to do is go ahead, we're going to make sure it's moving freely. Moving very freely. Now, at this time, you can flip it in half or you can flip it and roll it, which looks prettier. And that is just my thing. Now watch me mess up. I better not mess up these eggs. I'm going to be mad at my own self if I do. Let's get the spatula. We're going to get in there. We may just have to go in half. Let's see there. Yep. Okay. Now remember, our plate is hot. So everything, once it hits the plate, is still cooking. It's still in this pan, it's still cooking. So your cheese just continues to melt. Your eggs continue to cook. So what you don't want to do is overcook nothing. Okay? So we're about done with that. So see, we are all done. Let me zoom out. Look at that. Perfectly cooked Denver omelet. So I just want to give you guys a final peek at the perfectly cooked, extra cheesy Denver omelet. All right. And I always end my videos by saying thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe my channel. This time I want to say the same exact things, and I want to also tell you guys, especially my people who have been with me from day one, who will send me an email or a message saying, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Are you okay? I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of my people that are new to my channel for giving me a shot to entertain you guys and share some tips, tricks, secrets, and all that. But I appreciate it all. And in the meantime, may God continue to bless all of you guys abundantly. Good night.